for calling Aurora Police and Fire Dispatch. We are currently experiencing a higher than normal call volume. Please stay on the line and the next available dispatcher will be with you as soon as possible. Thank you for calling Aurora Police and Fire Dispatch. We are currently experiencing a higher than normal call volume. Please stay on the line and the next available dispatcher will be with you as soon as possible.
All right, folks. Hey, caveman was just a little about it, and this is a tyrannical news break.
Thank you for calling Aurora
Listen to
Police
this.
and Fire Dispatch.
I'm in Aurora, Colorado right
A
now.
higher than normal call volume. Please stay on the line and the next
Says it right there.
available
Aurora,
dispatcher will be with you
Colorado
as soon as
mayor
possible.
warns of migrant gang threat. But listen to the craziness about it all. I'm telling you, dude. All right. Anyways, everything will make a lot more sense if you believe what I believe, and that is that the cops who are sociopathic and psychopaths,
Thank you for calling Aurora Police and Fire Dispatch.
sociopathic.
We are currently
But the
experiencing a higher than
psychopaths,
normal call volume.
they're
Please stay
kind
on
of
the
minds of
line and
serial
the next
killers.
available dispatcher will be with you as soon as possible.
They've been doing it for a long time, unawares, but they know each other. They gang up. That's why we call them the Blue Line Gang. But they have the same mindset as Ted Bundy, BTK, and all those psychopaths. But their paths, they also feel.
Thank you for calling Aurora Police and Fire Dispatch.
Pathetic.
We are currently experiencing a higher than normal call volume.
They're not
Please stay on the
empathetic.
line and the next available dispatcher will be with you as soon as possible.
Just the dark. It's evil. Everything evil about it. And anyways, watch this.
A Colorado apartment building overrun by an armed group of men who local officials say are members of the dangerous Venezuelan gang. Residents are understandably terrified, but the Democratic governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, is dismissing the takeover as just simply the locals' imagination. Joining us now is Cindy Romero. She used to live in that very apartment building. She's now in her new apartment.
Listen, bro. Watch.
Aurora. I believe it was your doorbell camera video that we have been watching for the last few days.
Didn't know we had doorbell camera, did we there, Mr. Polis?
Trying to get into the apartment across the hallway from yours. What did you see there, and how bad did it get in that building?
Crazy.
On this particular date, it was really bad. But it is not by any means an isolated occurrence, unfortunately. I have months, almost a year and a half worth of footage from 6 separate cameras.
Wow. Were you home that day?
I was. And actually,
what did you think when you saw this taking place outside of your apartment?
What did you think, lady?
Earlier that morning, I had seen several individuals carrying assault weapons down to the next floor of the building adjoining mine. And I reported it to the police. So all day we were nervous and on high alert anyway, because they told us that they really couldn't do anything unless something happened. And we were just waiting all day for it to happen. We knew it was coming.
Wait a minute, you've got people running around the apartment complex with long rifles and pistols.
They're collecting rent.
You call the police and the police say they couldn't do anything about it?
Can't do nothing about it there, ma'am. Sorry.
They weren't coming. They called me about
squatting
an hour
rights.
or a half later.
Can't help you.
And they said, I apologize, but
Look at this dude.
You
You answer the door, ma'am. We can fucking come in there for the person. Answer the goddamn door. Look at that, bro. Are you serious?
There was an ongoing investigation that they didn't want to do with. I assume there was surveillance of some sort going on.
This ain't over yet. Watch.
But they never did show up. And then that night when the shooting broke out about 11:20 that evening, we again called 911 frantically. Please come help us.
Come help us.
We didn't get a response for an hour.
Thank you for calling Aurora.
Oh my gosh! And you ended up with a bullet hole in your car, as I understand.
I have a
bullet hole through her car.
Bullet hole through my car.
Oh
it
my
went
gosh.
in one side and went out the other. Hit about 5 things on the way through. My husband also has bullet holes in his car.
Okay. Oh my God! So we were talking yesterday with Mike Hoffman, who's the mayor of Aurora. Here's what he told us. Listen to this. These gangs apparently are attracted to where there's a concentration of Venezuelan migrants, and so they've in fact have kind of pushed out the property management through intimidation, and then collected the rents. And arrests have been made, but these operations are still ongoing. So you got to the point, Cindy, where you said, we can't do this anymore. We've got to get out of here. And it was City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky who helped you get out. Tell me about that.
Yes, absolutely. We were actually talking to a reporter from Fox outside of that shooting the next morning, and he was actually the one that connected us with Councilwoman Jurinsky, who has been amazing. My first conversation with her, she said, "Do you still live there?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "I'm going to get you out of there."
Oh. So
she said, "I'm going to make it my work."
So you're singing her praises. In the meantime, the office of Governor Jared Polis is saying she's making all of this up. Listen to what a spokesman said.
Listen to that, dude.
According
you
to
serious?
police intelligence, this purported invasion. I can get this.
Did you see what he just said? It's all made up. You didn't see it on camera. Not at all. What the fuck? Homie.
Apartment buildings is largely a feature of Danielle Jurinsky's imagination. What do you say to that?
What? You can't fake video?
Yeah.
And Polis wouldn't last 5 minutes on that property.
Wow. Here's what Danielle...
Oh, it's your imagination, man.
Danielle
Sorry.
said about it. Listen to this.
I absolutely did not make any of this up. I
love
that is how our governor has quickly questioned to say that that's the actual problem here. But the actual problem here are his weak policies that have turned this state into a breeding ground for this gang activity.
Cindy, why do you think the governor's office has got its head stuck firmly in the sand over this issue?
Ridiculous. Police, no.
They don't want to admit that they're part of the problem. It's the administration who we count on to make the rules for us, to make the guidelines that we go by. I call 911, no help comes from me. No help. There's no mass amounts of police that show up to make sure that we're defended. Nobody showed up to help me. I didn't have a bulletproof vest.
Are you woke yet? Hello?
I didn't have 5 officers showing up with me whenever there was a problem. We were on our own, and we were left to die.
Thank you for calling
These people have no registration in this country.
And we should point out that the scenes that you're seeing on the right-hand side of the screen there, those were taken from Cindy's Ring doorbell or video doorbell while she was inside her apartment. You can imagine what it was like living there. Cindy, God bless you. We're glad you got out.
Thank you so much. I am so grateful every day that I got out.
All right. We hope to talk to you again. We'll see if maybe the governor gets on the stick and takes care of this problem. Thank you.
That's crazy, you guys. You guys don't think that's crazy. Oh my gosh.
Spy watches and spy pens, all connected to a high-tech hotel set up with Johnny and our against robot competitors. As we were on the casino...
What's this? The very first one? Watch this one. Now listen to this lady. Huh.
I stopped by here at 12th and Dallas. Got quite a few of our officers out here that are out here tonight again. I've been down here for several weeks, making contacts with the residents, reassuring them about the criminal activity that's happening here and how we're going to address it. We're out here, we want to reassure the people that live in this community that we are actively understanding criminal activity that's happening and listening to them to so that we can learn anything that we're missing. You know, what are we missing, and I find out what exactly is going on.
She's going to say something here shortly, how you can tell. Never mind, watch what she says. You don't have to reassure us that
we're out here because we care. I mean, nobody should be more informed if they don't care. And we want the residents and the people that live here to know that we care.
No one should wear the uniform
to the residents here
if you don't care.
And learning from them to find out what exactly is going on. And there's definitely a different picture. I'm not saying that there's not gang members that don't live in this community. But what we're learning out here is that gang members have not taken over this complex.
Okay.
They've really made an effort to the last few days to just really ask the specific questions and the direct questions in terms of the gang activity and who's actually making sure that people aren't paying rent to gang leaders or gang members, that's not happening. And we've discovered here today and yesterday talking to so many residents that that's not the case. we've been talking about, and they've been sincere with this. We really believe that they are sincere with us. And we're standing out here, and I can tell you that gang members have not taken over.
I'll go down there and do a story tomorrow. I'm on my way, but the apartment building, I don't know which one it is. So I'll find
out of this. The renter who captured that shocking video of a Venezuelan gang invasion says this wasn't the first time.
It is not by any means an isolated occurrence, unfortunately. I have months, almost a year and a half worth of footage from 6 separate cameras. They don't want to admit that they're part of the problem. It's the administration who we count on to make the rules for us, to make the guidelines that we go by. I call 911, no help comes from me.
No help came.
Nobody showed up to help me. I didn't have a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
I didn't have 5 officers showing up with me whenever there was a problem. We were on our own, and we were left to die.
Now, President Trump says he'll throw illegal immigrants like those who showed up with guns at the apartment building out of the country if he's elected.
You see what's happening in Aurora, Colorado today. Did you see that?
See that?
Where Venezuelan gang members have taken over parts of the city.
Oh,
They've taken over apartment houses because these stupid people that we have leading our country are allowing these people, these criminals, to come into our country, and we're going to get them the hell out of here. And this is just the beginning. Wait till you see what happens. Wait till you see what they're doing.
Somewhere.
Now, Alicia, to go to you on this, and especially with your experience up there, I want to play the mayor because she talks about being left at the mercy of these people. But the person elected didn't do anything for them. The Aurora City Attorney's Office is preparing court documents to request an emergency court order to clear the apartment buildings where the Venezuelan gang activity has been occurring by declaring the properties a criminal nuisance. In the meantime, the law enforcement task force set up to disrupt and arrest Venezuelan gang members in these buildings will continue their operations. I mean, this is ridiculous.
And imagine just living
crazy,
even in
this serious right now?
Community there, right? It's very scary. One thing a lot of folks may not realize is that, so I covered on Thursday when the video came out, but before the video came out, there were 3 members of the Aurora City Council who are conservative who had come out publicly and said there's a problem with these buildings, and there are Venezuelan gangs who are infiltrating these buildings. Yeah, they were treated by the governor of Colorado, and at the time, the mayor of Aurora, as if they were the problem, as if they were like Danielle Zurinsky, one of the councilwomen, was treated like she was crazy.
Yeah.
Right. But then the video came out, and now all of a sudden, things are starting to change.
It's like Uvalde.
The governor's just still a little bit different. But I will tell you one thing about Danielle Zurinsky, this councilwoman. She was out there finding places for people to live who had to leave the apartment because they were so scared, and she was also helping them move. And a lot of people don't realize, like, they're on the ground dealing with this.
Stay tuned.
Well, David, hold on. It's not hyperbole what Lucy's saying here. It's not that they were saying that, oh, they're crazy for feeling this way. You actually had the governor saying that this was just a feature of their imagination before they actually came out with the video. And this is one of the biggest problems. And again, Donald Trump is listening to exactly what people are saying. People are afraid. They're seeing rising crimes. Same thing happened here in New York City when we had migrants all over the streets.
Police,
and
the police are taking over.
Hotel. You had the governor, you had the mayor coming out saying it's not a problem. Everything's under control here. Yet silently, they were saying we need to bust them out. You're walking down the street in New York City. You know what the problem is. Same thing happening all about throughout the country. In Colorado now, you have the people saying there's a problem. You have videos saying there's a problem, but the elected officials are saying it's just in your imagination. No problem.
You see the video?
I just want to hand this off to you because how you talk about politics earlier in the show. The state of our politics.
The videos that you have there are all your imagination.
Are failing the people they're elected to serve. This is case in point.
Yeah, every state a border state, every city a potential sanctuary city. Vote that way. Interpret it that way. This is Colorado, pretty far from the southern border. But Venezuelan gangs are apparently taking over an apartment building.
Yeah.
When the enemy is at the gate, prepare yourself.
And
right now, the enemy in that video is at the door with a rifle in his hand. That's not an unserious thing. This is a very serious issue, and there isn't a community in this country that's immune from it.
Nope.
All right.
The squatting rights that people can squat inside the homeowners' houses. You can't honestly believe that the government, all powerful and mighty, does not have a few laws in place to make sure that squatters and homeless people and vagrants enter your home and take it over. You know why that is because the homelessness crisis is bad. And they want the homeowners to foot the bill. So we made squatting rights.
Embrace the fear of freedom.
You can be at your house, call the cops, and the window's busted, but the guy changed the locks in 10 minutes and shows the cop he has the key to the front door. Sorry, ma'am, can't help you. He said, you got to stay here, you got to take it to civil court. Just like that. The same day they broke in. Anyways,